Greetings YouTube, this is BJ Black, and this is part 9 of my Let's Play of Molnmus Quest Paradox RPG. I started over at the east, I ended the last video at the east entrance to this forest, but I'm going to come in the north entrance. Sonny observes there are entrances of the forest. Puppy has a bad sense of direction, so she needs to take care not to get separated from the group. Eli senses the presence of dark elves, and that's about it. But what's important is, here is a small medal. Now, as you recall, we're headed for the hidden village Enrika, here on the west end of the forest. Elias is still concerned that Enrika is going to kill her. But she senses angels here. Now, fallen angels are one thing. She might expect those kind of things, but she was curious as to why regular angels would be present. But to start, let's go find Enrika. Now, as a hidden village, they aren't exactly hospitable to outsiders. You can't stay at the inn, you can't buy anything at the item shop. Oh, I should have said, I came over here and I got that small medal out of the dressers here. Drawers. And Enrika is in this house, or should be. So we're here to meet Enrika. This elf is the only person here, however. She asks if we are Luca. Well, Luca specifically is Luca. This makes her really sad and she starts crying. Well, at this point she will tell us about Enrika's testament. Her final testament, as it were. Which means it's not going to say just yet. About half a month ago, Enrika left this town and told to this elf all the things we're going to hear of now. But if a boy named Luca comes, then the significance of that will be that Enrika will have passed away. Lost her life, specifically. Now, Elias was afraid of getting killed by her, but she's also kind of shocked at this development. No way that Enrika could die. It's true there hasn't been any contact for the last half month. Which is really inconvenient for our quest because we needed somebody to tell us where to go next. But she did inform everybody that Luca here is related to her. So the village is going to help out. You know, sell us things at the shops. And the villagers will actually talk to us. And we start with a few items. So we've ran out of the 2 Tartaros on this continent, so we'll have to travel north to the next one, Centura. We can get there by taking a boat from Eliasport. Goba gets seasick. We need to be careful when we go up to the continent of Centura, however, because there's a big war going on. Or in the making, at least. Sonia knows about the war between the four great countries. However, that's not what our elf is talking about. There's currently a great upheaval underway in the ranks of the monsters of the continent. Or, well, possibly more continents. This isn't really surprising, seeing as the current Maul has been turned into, you know, something more like Pucci-Lamia there. So currently there are 3 Mauls vying for, you know, the title. So it's really getting into a big mess. And we can't go too long without a character moment for Elias. She's just taking pleasure in the fact that these monsters are blooding themselves up. But the elf does clarify that Alice the 16th, the one we're familiar with, is not among the 3 Mauls that are currently fighting. Or currently about to start fighting. The first one, commanding Alice's former army, is Alice's mother, Alice V's the 15th. Elias tells us that she was supposed to be dead already. Speculation first that somebody's manipulating her corpse, or that it's fake. However, Alice V's the 15th was quite well known for quite a long time, and a fake would not be able to deceive very many people, especially the elder ranking, the ones the officers of the army that have had a lot of contact with her. In any case, Alice V's the 15th is running the regular army. So after that one, Elias was hoping that it was just a few small-time people getting in little fights, but at this point it's clear that these are going to be pretty big players. Next up, does everybody remember in the first video we visited Sonia's house and Elias was scared of the teddy bear there? It wasn't actually that teddy bear, it was this teddy bear. The one belonging to Black Alice, the 8th Alice V's. I'd like to see more of Elias's shocked reactions rather than her stern reactions, though. Another way you might translate Kuro no Alice would be Alice the Black. In any case, she's trouble. She was originally defeated by the hero Heinrich. Among all the 16 Mauls so far, she is among the top tier. She's opposed to the current peaceful policies of, well, probably the former policies of Alice the 16th. Seeing as Elias has been gone for 30 years, it was probably under Alice the 16th's command that the humans and monsters have been coexisting peacefully. Anyway, Alice the 8th is not pleased and wants to throw that all into the dustbin. On account of this, a number of aggressive monsters have been taking her side. She doesn't have the numbers of the regular army yet, but it's only a matter of time before the two of them come to blows. So, number 3 Maul. This is Alice V's the 17th. Which is really a surprise because Alice the 16th hasn't had any kids. So, what type of person is this? Well, she doesn't have any subordinates, and she is a solitary monster claiming to be the Mao 17th. Yeah, that's just a self-styled Mao. If you look at this really carefully, you'll notice that this artist is the same as an artist of a few other characters that have shown up. This one is particularly good at showing powerful effects, which is probably why he's in here. In any case, Alice Fees the 17th is actually among the more feared of them, because although she's acting on her own, her power is quite outside of the ordinary. She took down Cassandra, the Queen of Nereid, and after that went after... flushed out the Transecto village. That's a portmanteau of plant and insect, where there were, plant and insect type monsters. Among those monsters, there were some pretty powerful ones, such as Priestess and Queen Bee. And after that, went into the north part of Centra and flushed out the Arachne gang from their headquarters. The Arachne gang is the Arachne tribe is also very powerful and aggressive. The Arachne were finally forced out of their headquarters and into a solitary cave. Elia says that even the Alice we know at full power would have quite a bit of trouble doing that. So after those three events, Alice Fees the 17th started wandering around basically on a whim, calling herself Mao and challenging anybody strong to a battle. Interestingly enough, nobody has actually died from any of her attacks. She's displaced people, sure, but she hasn't killed anyone. In the end, the warrior Granberia went out to challenge her, and after a battle of 5 hours, the two of them came to... The ultimate result was a draw. However, the 17th said at that point... Oh. I got ahead of myself. The elf is now explaining that all of those events, starting from Cassandra Nereid, all the way through Granbelia, all happened in one day's time. And Alice Fees the 17th's last words to Granberia was, "I can't show you my true power just yet." So even if she hasn't got any subordinates at this time, her power by herself is almost definitely higher than both the 8th and the 15th, to say nothing of the 16th. So as an individual force, she is probably the most powerful, the most dangerous one out there. Sonia observes that Elias seems unusually interested in these events. As she said, she was expecting 3 small-timers playing King of the Hill, but this appears to be well out of that range. So this elf gives us a final warning. about what we're going to find on the Central Continent. Elias actually says something kind of good here, and that as the goddess guiding humanity, she can't really let this go, and she's going to have to take on all three of them. An important task in front of her, probably an impossible task, unless Luca were to help her. Sonia regrets that our objectives just keep increasing and we can't seem to finish a single one. Elias agrees. There's the Cataclysm, researching that actually. There's the Tartaros, there's Luca's father, and now there's 3 Maos. But she thinks there might be some string connecting all 3 of them. But let's not worry too much about it, and head out to Eliasport to head to the Central Continent. Eliasport is north of Eliasberg. Sonia is gung-ho. So is Gabe, except for the being on a boat part. Oh, Luca's actually going to contribute to this conversation. The elf wishes us luck on our journey. If we learn anything about Mikaela, she asks that we come by and tell her. We do have a side quest, which this dark elf will start us out on. Now that he's talking to the elf in there, the village will help us out, and this elf will specifically call us out and ask us to go to the item shop. In the item shop, there's another dark elf. She is a medicinist, but since Mikaela's been gone, they have not been sending out very many people to gather medicinal materials. So she's hoping that we can go down to... where's the place called? Rems Beach. It's south of the forest of the Lost Forest. So we accept her quest and we can go down there and grab her some goods. This is the exit down to the Rems. This ferry will tell you that this isn't the way to Enrika. In case you are looking for Enrika and you found your way to the south entrance, that ferry could turn you around. And this is Rems Beach. There is a character that I would like to recruit here, so we're going to have a few battles. It's probably best we do some battling, because what's a video without a few battles? Okay. Clearly I'll have to fight some of these guys if I can't run away from the ones I don't want to fight. That means I've gotten farther ahead of my level than I should. Aye. The one on the left is the one we're trying to recruit. She's a catfish girl. Or perhaps it would be better to say she's a mermaid of the catfish style. Oh, you killed Puppy! Yeah, maybe I am really out of my league down here. Let's switch Puppy up for Gob, because she's higher level. You know, it occurs to me that Minnie's actually not a good person to be fighting on the seaside. As a fire type, she's probably weak against water. But she does have some other useful attributes. First of all, every time she dies, she'll be... well, every battle we engage in, she can die once and she'll automatically be revived. At about half-life. Oh yay, just what I always wanted. No, you get to hang out in the castle. I like my party, thanks. Oh. Here's another one of those questions where we get to give our opinion, and if she likes our answer, she'll like us more. She's asking us how old she looks. Most likely the truth is between 100 and 1,000. Oh, 100 is about right. She doesn't actually count, but it's around that, she says. Now, some people think that getting the monster girls to like you more will result in them joining your party more often, which I will concede may be true, but I've also wasted a lot of time running their affection up to 100% and then still not getting them for better than 40 fights at a time. So I'm not really certain it has any effect. Oh yeah, and then there are other times when I just fight them at the default affection of 25 and they just join my party immediately. Aside from the occasional question that they will ask you, Luca has the ability to talk to opponents once a turn, and also if you take the informant job class, you can do that with anybody. After mastering the informant job class, you also get the Wajutsushi class. To translate that, you might call it the word warrior, wordplay warrior perhaps. And they get more options in talking. You can straight up compliment the opponents and you don't have to answer any questions, and it will provide a decent boost to the affection. They can also request items from the opponents or money, although that lowers the affection. The items you typically get from monsters are not really special. Once I went up against a bonus boss in the post game and went through the items that she would give you, and one of them was just a standard phoenix tail. The kind you can get for 100 gold. So I pretty much gave up at that point of finding anything actually valuable. If you're short on money, the money thing can work though. They give pretty good amounts compared to defeating them. Well, at least we're gaining some levels. Another thing the Wordplay Warrior job will get you is a command you can use to triple the odds that a given monster will join your party, which I could really use at this point. But we are not grinding up the informant class up to level 10 and then getting into Wordplay Warrior. That would just take forever. You know what, I'm gonna try this. Nope. Something else I think I will do is change Minnie's job. Alright, here she is asking us what we think she eats. So, fish, or some kind of seaweed, people, or crab stew. I don't think it's crab stew. Yeah, some kind of seaweed. Vegetarian, huh? I didn't know that. Of course, it might not be the same as the standard animal crabs. It could be the same, though. I don't know a whole lot about the eating habits of crabs. Well, while we're here, we may as well pick up this item we came here for. Right there. This right here is a healing shell. And this is what the Dark Elf in Enrika asked for. These catfish girls have a pretty good attack that hits all of my characters. That's annoying. But I think after these 3 level ups or so, Minnie's magic defense has gone up high enough that she doesn't die too quickly. She's still the character that's typically lowest on life, however. I think I'm going to switch her out of the player class at next opportunity. And by next opportunity, I mean as soon as I get this catfish girl to join my... No, not you. And send her off. As soon as I get this catfish girl in my party, I think I'm going to go visit the job shack and switch Minnie to a class that actually can fight. I haven't mentioned it, but her default class is the player class. She might have a couple of the classes she has skill in, but she starts with the player class. Which is really a weak class, actually. They have low attack power, low defense power, low hit points. And if that weren't enough, sometimes they will just take their turns and waste them doing nothing. Picking up random items off the ground or such. Some characters, however, will give you useful items. Many, perhaps, will give us a phoenix tail every so often. Ah, here Gigi is joining our party. But she doesn't need to be in our party, You know what? We got this. We got the noble title. Yeah, title of nobility from the Metal Queen. So we might as well make Minnie into a noble. She still doesn't have the highest HP, but at least it's over 100 now. Oh, and there's his usual reminder that we need to reset our abilities. Which is good because we're still on quad 16. No, that's a different. We are still on 16 times encounters until we turn it off. Well, 8 times encounters since Minis was nullified. So off to Enrika. Now we turn in this side quest and we get some items. That second item you should hold on to. I don't remember its exact effects, but you can't get very many of them, and pretty soon we'll have an opportunity to use them to get access to an area of the game. But of course, if you use it, you can't use it for... If you consume it, you can't use it for that purpose. Let's see. Here, elf medicine. Restores 100 MP. Most of my characters don't... None of my characters have that, do they? Maybe if one of my characters were set up to be a mage specifically, they could use that. But we're not quite done with Enrika yet. Now that we've done the task for that, the task that Dark Elf asked of us, Vanilla wants a couple of medicinal herbs, and Luca remembers this Dark Elf we just talked to. So Vanilla will now introduce herself, and we can go into negotiations, and she agrees to supply us. And that will cover us for today. Tomorrow, we're going to head north for Eliosport and complete a quest before heading on to the next continent. So, see you tomorrow, YouTube.